Hello, everyone. This is Die Video Maker here with SBS.
Hey.
And today we are finally doing the commentary for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Legacy of Pym. I was the co-writer on the project, and I also voice Hank Pym.
And I also helped write, and I filmed the entire thing, which, as you can see down here, is very long. So we're in for likely an over hour long commentary. But it's what the people want. We shall deliver.
Mm-hmm. Yes, all 10 of them.
Yep. We
We
do.
do this for the real ones.
Yeah.
For the OnlyFans members.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
I'm
get
still
this.
curious as to how many people actually fell for the fake OnlyFans link in the last
I
commentary.
I know Bad Days did. Because I remember he either DM'd me on Instagram or Discord, like not actually pissed, but he was like so jokingly disappointed, like because he really wanted to know what the Atlas OnlyFans would look like, and then just got fucking rickrolled. But
Yep.
don't worry, fans. We have the actual link to the actual Atlas OnlyFans in the description below. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so.
Yeah. Anyways, I suppose we should start. Yeah. So this is my old channel intro that I don't use anymore. I don't know. I kind of just used it as a joke because I thought, oh wow, this is playing back at like 240p. Hold on, let me change that. Yeah,
Gotta
10.
say that, like,
All right, that's better. I don't know why I was defaulting to like really low, but that's fine.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was my old channel intro that I don't really use anymore because I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny to use the Paramount logo, but like I don't even like Paramount like any special at all. So I just thought it was better to make my own, which I use now.
I don't know if I've said this before, but the Atlas intro that you just saw, that was made by Legoman Films.
Hmm.
He made that back when he was still active.
Yeah.
Um, oh, real quick with this scene. One originally Crisis Studios was going to be our guy for Captain America. Like
Mm.
that's who we kind of had in mind for a while. But like due to the fact that he voices a character or two in this already, and also because um over time there's just like other stuff kept happening,
Hmm.
we ended up just casting Justice Productions in the role, and that really I think he did a really good job for
Yeah.
the little screen time he has. um I'm really excited for people to see him again in Captain Captain America's miniseries that's
Hmm.
coming out eventually.
Yeah.
Um, and also the whole thing with this is I think one of the few scenes I actually wrote by myself. I want to say, or like,
Yeah.
because like something that we did for both Legacy of Ultron and Legacy of Pym is me and SBS just kind of went back and forth between writing
Hmm.
scenes.
Yeah.
Like, because like for the first one, it was like, okay, you wrote the scene at Stark Labs, then I wrote everything from Hank creating the Pym particles all the way up to him and Janet in their suits about to go fight the monster, and
Hmm.
then after the 9-year gap is pretty much mostly you with a
Yeah.
couple edits and stuff from me. And we did a similar thing here where I wrote the opening, and then I don't. That's like the only thing I can remember really writing for this. I know for a fact I wrote other stuff in the script,
Yeah.
but I just do not remember. Also, it's raining where I'm at. I really hope that doesn't like cut through the audio.
I have my fan blowing, so I hope that's not ruining the audio.
Yeah, fair.
But anyways, I put Atlas feature-length film. That was before I knew how long this was actually going to be. I kind of that's more so like a joke now, but like when I was editing, I was kind of under the assumption that this was gonna be closer to an hour. I mean, it is still 47 minutes long. It's
Yeah.
it's currently the longest video I've ever made, and it probably is gonna stay that for at least a little while. I mean, I do have other scripts that would likely surpass this in length, but I don't know. Who's to say, really?
Yeah. And this is also the longest Atlas video to
Hmm.
date, unless I don't know. I really want to see what would happen if like we make Inhumans Part 3 into one big video. Same with Doctor Strange. Me and
Yeah,
Simon did actually be doing that.
I think
But
I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange might end up a little longer if it was all one thing. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't remember the
yeah,
exact length of either of those.
well, both films are literally just under 20 minutes. Like they're
Hmm.
both around 19 minutes each. And I feel like if we put them together, it would be just a little shorter, this video. But let's actually talk about this what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So Peggy Carter being the villain was, or at least, an antagonist was not the original plan, but it just kind of ended up happening,
Hmm.
mainly thanks to SBS.
It's how things happen sometimes.
Yeah. Also, is that guy with the? I know I said it in like the post on Instagram, but is that guy with the eye patch the same guy from the first one?
Yeah, he is. I mean, I use the
Okay.
same head and hair, so yeah, he's pretty much the same
Mhm.
person.
Yeah, and it makes sense with Shield's connection with Howard.
Yeah.
Um, I think this is one of the few times SBS appears in an Atlas video, and I think it's his only time where he doesn't voice someone who's going to die.
You mean
Because that,
Spiny?
yeah, Spiny. Wait, what did I say?
You said me?
Oh,
You
fuck.
said me.
All you animators look alike.
Oh wow.
Um,
Animator racist much?
but Spiny and I have like this sort of agreement thing where like if we voice in each other's works, we either end up killing each other or we play someone who is like horribly tortured.
Hmm.
Like he was executed off screen in um Inhumans, and I'm 100% going to kill him in Iron Man. I don't care who he plays, he will play someone who dies. Oh, Spider-Man reference. This whole fucking thing was like a
Yeah.
nod to like,
You know how much I sacrificed.
yeah, and the board of
Hmm.
directors and like all that. This film has a lot of nods to superhero movies from the 2000s,
Yeah.
I've noticed. Because like you have the original Spider-Man reference. I think there's a reference to Spider-Man 2 as well. The Incredibles played a big part
Yeah, it did
inspiring the
kind of shape the
story.
story a lot.
Yeah, like there's so much Incredibles references in this film. Like not like there's music from the film, there's
Yeah.
a whole subplot of like it's not directly said, but it is like implied that Janet thinks Hank might be cheating
Hmm.
on her.
Which was a cut scene
Um,
from the original Incredibles. I'm assuming they cut it because they wanted it to be more kid friendly, but there are still
yeah.
hints in the original Incredibles movie that like, oh fuck, what was her name? Helen. Oh my god,
Elastigirl.
I forgot her name. Helen thinks that Bob's cheating on her.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, including Hope in the story was something I was really excited about.
Hmm.
Not just because of like, oh, her character is going to be further established in the next movie and other projects in Atlas, but just like it really shaped how we were going to tell this story, including
Yeah.
her. Because like, oh shit, just thundered. Um,
Oh, that's great.
the characters like the characters were already going through enough in the first one, and now to add Hope into their dynamic, it's just really really fun. Um, do you have any stuff you want to mention with Hope?
Um, I mean, I think this. I'm. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure this was the first time having like a child character as like one of the main characters in a video for me, because I don't
Hmm.
remember ever doing that before, and I don't think I've done that since. So I'm pretty sure this is the only one for now. I mean, I don't know what I have planned for that. What that would include another like young character like this, but
Hmm. Yeah.
it was very fun to write someone like this. Very naive, but also smart in their own way.
Hmm. Yeah. And I like how we were able to kind of add bits of Hank and Janet into Hope.
Hmm.
Like that was something that was really fun. Like, it's not in the script, but obviously, like you can see on the film, like, Hope has Janet's hairpiece from the first
Yeah,
one, and
that
like,
was a purposeful design choice.
yeah. Oh, the guy who played Duncan
The
Dunk
Duncan
or the
employee.
yeah, that was Pirate, who is a good friend of mine. And I've known him since Atlas started, and I wanted to get him in something forever. Um, it took like almost 3 years, but I finally got him in something.
Yeah,
It took that long to find something to put him in.
the role he was meant to,
He's been
the
doing,
role he was born to play.
yeah, a fast food employee on a minimum wage.
Put the fries in the
God
bag,
damn
bro.
it. Yeah, but something I will say was just like, I mean, I know for a fact, like, since this video, you've like improved your game significantly. But even then, I remember just like the contrast of like how good you were in the in Legacy of Ultron,
Hmm.
and then the jump in quality to Legacy of Pym, and like it's just been nonstop. Like you keep improving your craft with every
Yeah,
video, and it's just so amazing to see. I'm really excited how Ant-Man 3 is going to look. That's
yeah.
going to be one
I
I'm
think
excited about.
my main critique with like anything to do with this movie is just that it's very desaturated. Like normally now I go for a more like saturated look on my films because I like it when like reds and like the brighter colors are just very vibrant, and that's I definitely I remember turning the saturation down in this one just because I was trying to still get used to using the camera
Mhm.
setup, but
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore, and I'm glad because I think it looks a lot. This doesn't look as good as some of the stuff that's come out from me recently,
Mhm.
but that's
Yeah.
just how things work sometimes.
Hmm. Oh, also the guy that Hank was Jesus, that thunder. Um, the guy that Hank yelled at in the car, like called him a fat ass, that's meant to be Scott's dad,
Yeah.
because Joe comes back later, voices him off screen.
Hmm.
But I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it is like kind of our headcanon
Yeah.
that that's Scott's dad. Hoping Scott go to school together,
Hmm.
that type of thing. Oh, and this scene right here is a contrast to the scene in the first movie where Hank helped like someone from being robbed and they were scared of him, and
Hmm.
then the old lady thanked him in this one.
Yeah. And
Yo, and speaking of Scott,
yeah, if you can't tell by
original.
now, I changed the way that I do like the shrinking effects. Where in the original film it was like done in editing. I just decided to do this one in camera with actual Lego, just because I think A, it looks better, and B, when I was filming the first one, I didn't know how I was gonna do it entirely, so I didn't always film it in a way that made it easy for me to actually do it in the editing room. So that's kind of why the effects in the first one kind of like change sometimes, and they aren't always consistent. But I decided, sometimes it's just easier to do stuff in camera. Like even like gunshots and stuff, I started doing in camera now, just because A, it's easier, and B, it kind of looks better if you have like practical inset lighting. and stuff like that coming out of the gun instead of just a PNG put in after the fact. Damn, it's really
Mhm.
it's I can hear it through the microphone.
Yeah, yeah, it's bad. It's fucking bad. I honestly am contemplating like whether or not we should continue right now or if we should do it at a later point.
Honestly, I think as long as like you're not in active danger, I think it's kind of funny.
I'm I'm not in active danger, thankfully. It's just
I'm in danger.
Hey, didn't strike me though.
uh someone's been watching The Simpsons.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think that might come in handy with Ant-Man 3. I'm not gonna lie.
honestly, yeah.
Because like the family dynamics and stuff and like
Mhm.
that. Um but something I really do like is like even though like Scott's not really important to the story, I like that we were able to establish him in this in a way
Mhm.
of just like he has this history with Hank in a way. It's not a big history, but it is something.
Yeah. And we continue the typecast of Enzo playing young characters.
Yeah. Oh, and this upcoming thing with Scott uh was fucking
Superman.
based on Superman.
It's
uh
darkly comedic.
child abuse child abuse is not funny unless it's in Lego,
Yeah, then it's like extra funny.
bro. So Bill, it was really cool to bring Bill back into the story, but something that we never realized just how little screen time he actually had in this until
Yeah,
we sent Gil the lines, and then he only sent us like a 2-minute audio or something,
yeah.
and I was like, what the fuck? We feel like there should be more than this, and I was
Hmm.
like, oh no, that's all of his lines.
Oh, damn.
If there was any, well, the story works really well. Like I'm happy with the story, but I will say I wish we were able to include Bill in it more.
I think
But at the
that's
same time,
part of the reason why he got his own Christmas special.
yeah, um, the because like Bill is I almost thought I had a phone call for a second. That fucking got me. But no, but Bill is a character I really like, and I feel bad that we've done it's not that we haven't done anything with him, it's just we haven't really explored his character.
Hmm.
Which I was really happy that we were able to have his own special where we got to see how he and Hank met, why he and kind of get a good idea why he tolerates his bullshit.
Hmm.
And and that's definitely a priority for us with Ant-Man 3 is we will see a lot more of Bill
Yeah.
in Ant-Man 3. But again, this is like them making Pym Tech or like that's not really a big thing in this story, but it's building up that this is something that's going to tie into Ant-Man 3.
Hmm.
Pym Tech is going to be a part of Ant-Man 3. And here is Darren Cross,
Yeah.
our villain. Don't you have like a weird story about the voice actor or something?
Yeah, I think I'm p- I'm pretty sure he got like his Discord account got hacked or something because he sent me this like weird message that I mostly fell for, but I didn't really go through with anything that like he said that I should do. So, yeah, I mean, he was a great I'm assuming it was just well, I'm guessing it was just a hack because I don't think like that's actually something that dude would do. I mean, like I only talked with him for this one thing, but like he was just a normal voice actor. So I don't think he would like try and scam me or anything. So I haven't talked with him since. I'm pretty sure I blocked him, but
Yeah. Oh, but the zoom-ins on the Yellow Jacket suit. One, I fucking love that design,
mhm.
and two, it reminded me of like when they were introducing the Green Goblin suit
Yeah.
in Spider-Man. Again, another nod to that movie.
Mhm.
And oh, those are the same agents behind Carter are the same, or they were both in the Inhumans after credit scene.
Yeah.
Because yes, we just had to get some more Inhumans content
Mm-hmm.
because God knows Enzo won't.
Hmm.
Um, but like I something I really like about the video is just the build up with everything and how not only does it all come back at the end, but it'll all come back in the third one.
Yeah.
I really want to know what happened on Hope's first day. Like, how
Yeah,
did
like
that go?
that's kind of just something that just it's one of those things where it's better because you don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna. The fucking phone got me again,
Oh my
motherfucker.
god. The same thing happened with like my dog. Like yesterday I was watching Ironheart and like there was a doorbell or something in it and the doorbell went off in the show and then my dog went absolutely ballistic because she thought it was real
Mhm. Yeah.
because she's annoying and anytime literally
Mhm.
anyone tries to come into our house, she goes crazy.
Mhm.
See this
Yeah.
shot's weirdly a lot more saturated and like it
Yeah.
gets more
Oh,
as it goes on because you can see by like the red hair it's a lot more vibrant
it
compared to
pops up a
everything.
little
Yeah.
more. Something I really so like when because this is set in 1985, 1986, give or
Hmm.
take.
Yeah.
Um, so like the whole thing with so it was really fun to kind of like the story isn't really like around the era because I would say a big part of the first one was really tying it into the Cold War and all
Hmm.
that. Well,
Yeah.
this one is really just more focused on the characters and that's really it.
Yeah.
But
It's
there
a
were a
lot more
few things that
personal.
we had to, yeah. So there were a few things we had to keep in mind. Like I remember you just had Hank with us like a fucking like an iPhone or something for a
Yeah.
brief point in the script. And it was like, wait, no, they didn't have iPhones in the 1980s or something. They gotta
Yeah. That was my
change
bad.
that.
I kind of forgot like that I was writing in the 80s.
Yeah. Um, but like, it's cool that we're able to like. It's not really that important to the story that we just kind of forgot.
Hmm.
I mean, it is important to the story because it's like, oh, it's a decade after the first one, so obviously it's in the 80s.
Hmm.
But the setting doesn't really play that, like the time period doesn't really play that big of a role in the story.
Yeah.
But it is relevant, right? And it does play a role in some way. Um, I fucking love this joke you had with the two ex-agents.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause I remember that being such a big fucking laugh in the script. I also love how you wrote Hellcat as this insane
Just
person
adrenaline
as well.
junkie to the max. Literally does. You
Yeah.
don't know. It's sort of like in the Ghostbusters when like Bill Murray's investigating the house. You don't know if half the shit he's doing is actually legit or not, or if he's just screwing with the people. I kind of want
Mm-hmm.
that energy with this character, where you don't know if she's what she's really about, or if like half the stuff she's doing is like actually part of the mission or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like something so I wanted to put so the reason she's even in this story is because Brick Nexus, he showed me like there was like a good week or so where he would just send me like 50 obscure characters and their images and what their
Hmm.
story was. The only one, I mean, not to say that none of them interested me, but the only one of the few who piqued my interest was Hellcat. And that's
Hmm.
how I learned about her character and I got into her more. And I was like, I want to do something with her. And so I just kind of pitched it to SBS and
Yeah.
he was down for it. It was just cool. And we were contemplating whether or not she would have her yellow suit or not, because we did have that sort of
Yeah, I did
design in
design
mind.
a more yellow outfit, but like I kind of went for a more like field outfit type vibe. Uh,
Yeah, which she does have a black outfit in the comics.
hmm.
But and also I feel like because like both like it looked too much like Yellow Jacket's
Yeah, I had
design. That was
I
also
was sharing all my yellow pieces among like 3 different characters, so it kind of was a little hard
yeah.
because it was around this
Um,
time when I was designing. I think I was designing my X-Men characters around this time as well. So yeah, it was a little hard.
mhm. Oh, and this scene was helped. We got help from the
Yeah.
laziest lad. With anything quantum related was all
hmm
Enzo. He helped it. He didn't. SBS animated it, and then Enzo edited it.
Edited.
I
It.
yeah. There were a couple other people who I tried to get help us. I'm not going to say who, but they were unfortunately all of them were really busy
hmm
or weren't able to, which is 100% fair.
Yeah.
Um, and they know who they are, or they forgot that I even DM'd them. So if they ever listen to this, hello. And this whole fucking car chase, one, love this joke,
Yeah.
and two, I love the. It reminds me solely because of the song. It reminds me of the scene in Kingsman with just the adrenaline, and I think that helps with what you said about what you wanted to do with Hellcat, and also what you talked about with like having her just be this adrenaline junkie, and that the scene in Kingsman with the song is fucking adrenaline
hmm
heavy, of like having all these people kill each other, and like it really works with the tone of just like, oh, we're going fucking batshit crazy with this.
hmm
I also love the detail of like Hank not really knowing what to do with the gun,
Yeah.
because
Because
like,
why would he?
yeah, he's a scientist, and not only that, but like, I mean, I'm not gonna say Hank doesn't have a no kill rule. He's not one of those types of heroes,
He kind of just
but
has
like,
no reason to kill people.
yeah, like usually Hank just like knocks them out, or like,
hmm
it's not to say that he doesn't have a no kill rule. It's just that he just doesn't really have to.
hmm
And plus, I think the only one of the few people he actually has killed canonically is a fucking robot, so I don't think that
Yeah.
counts.
Plus, technically that was Hawkeye that did the final blow.
Oh yeah, true, true. It was Hawkeye.
He shot the thing
See,
into
this
the
is
thing
this
that
is
made it blow up. So that's
yeah.
yeah, that's his fault.
Mm-hmm. See, that's why we killed him.
hmm
I'm not gonna get into that because I'm pretty sure I went into a whole rant during the last Ant-Man commentary.
Yeah,
So I'm
and
not gonna get
I
into,
think you did it again in the Doctor Strange commentary, if I remember correctly.
yeah, because I'm only mad about it solely because everyone blamed me, even though it was like you wrote it,
Yep.
and it was like, well, it's your fault because you approved of it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, everyone became a Hawkeye fan as soon as he died. I swear to fucking God. But anyways, here's the scene that's like The Incredibles with like a girl gave you this house or
hmm
something.
Yeah.
Tying it back to our influence on The Incredibles.
hmm
And poor Hope is so confused. She had like 2 days of school, and then
Just immediately
actually
gets moved to another
she only had
state.
1 day of school, and then it was like, because it all happened in 1 day.
Yeah. All that
So like she
shit.
only had 1 day of school, and then fucking sent to a whole other state.
hmm
God, this is not good for her mental health.
Nope.
But
Yeah. I mean, I think yeah, again, this scene was again kind of showing that like Peggy, like if you're not useful to her, she does not care about you at all.
I kind of feel bad that this is technically, I mean, not this video specifically, but like this version of Peggy is like our introduction to her. Because like I promise you, when we get to Captain America, she's going to be like how she is in the MCU.
hmm
But like it's like we see what she turns out after Captain America's death, but we don't see what she was like beforehand. I'm hoping that after Captain America comes out, like once all the episodes are out and all that's in the timeline, it'll make a lot more sense. I mean, it still works.
Yeah.
Like we explain. But I remember like specifically a big influence on how we wrote Peggy was Billy Butcher from The Boys. Like that, his character, how he views superheroes, that was an influence on how we wrote Peggy. Just she wants to keep them in order. She does not care for these metahuman or superheroes and all that. Like they need to be kept in check.
Yeah.
And that's how she views that. And that's kind of similar to how Butcher views Soups. And so that's what we kind of had in mind when writing.
Yeah. I also think this video has the most scenes ever in one of my videos in a car. There are just so many scenes that take place in a fucking car.
Also, the guy that Animator 19 voices looks an awful lot like Frank Castle. Like
Unrelated.
it's just like this, yeah, like the black hair and the scar. It's like he has a very gruff vibe, mafia vibe.
I'm pretty sure that was the design I was going to use for Maroni in Long Halloween when I was still going to do that. But if you know the story for that, then you know that never happened twice. That double never happened.
Oh man, no, it's just like when they were I forgot what the film's called. It's like a Russian film. I want to say it's like a famous sci-fi. They literally shot the film like 3 different times. It was fucking insane. So really, you just need to film it like one more time and you'll get it right.
Yeah, maybe.
But like, I know for a fact this was all you. This whole scene was all you, and I like how you really explore the whole like the rush of like what we didn't really get to see in that 9-year gap in the first movie,
and how they were basically married for all those 9 years.
Yeah, and like this whole bottle up thing. Also, it took them fucking 9. Like they got married within 3 weeks, and it took them 9 years to have a kid.
Yeah, it's also
fucking.
I can imagine like their wedding day sort of being like, oh shit, what's the name of the movie where it ends with like the two getting married and it's just a shot of them on the bus as like their faces just melt and they realize I cannot remember the name of it.
I can't either, but
I totally should. But
I see it all the time at Barnes and Noble. It's like on the Criterion Collection or some shit. Oh, this scene was really cool.
Yeah.
And I remember we were talking about like, oh, this is such a good song. It's really cool. And then you're like, yeah, the guy who made it's a horrible person.
Yeah,
like,
he had children's on his computer, and yeah. Now this scene in a fucking car. Oh my god.
I think this is the last scene in a car.
Nope. There's at least one more.
No, we should make a drinking game next time we like binge this movie or something. Drink every time there's a scene in a car.
Yep.
But I loved what we did with Mockingbird. She's not in it a lot, but like I really like how she ties back to the story, because she was just kind of there with Hawkeye in the first one, kind of helping out. And then we really like explore her character after like, you know, getting tortured by Peggy and essentially becoming like the Winter Soldier before the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And like her kind of coming out of that. And if we ever do a Shield series, that is something I'd love to explore. Also, Howard Stark cameo. Let's go.
Yeah.
I want to say Greenleaf was one of the first people that did the lines for this.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of nice to hint or kind of show that, like, you know, that Howard still gives Peggy up. And it's kind of, you have to juggle, is he, because it's revealed that some of um, the board members aren't exactly of the highest moral standing, but it's kind of meant to leave you wonder if Howard's actually with them in that regard, or if he's more so Peggy's a loose cannon and she's kind of throwing this organization off the deep end, and let's not have that. Let's not have a government organization that's going crazy.
Yeah. And it's also like they have a history of being friends, and that is something Howard Stark won't appear too much in Captain America. I will confirm that, but he will be a part of it. Like, I know he's in episode 1, and I know he's going to be at the end of the show. But he's not really in too much of the episodes. I will confirm that. But you will see bits of, like, Howard and Peggy here and there, and like kind of seeing like they were on good terms in the 40s, and like what the hell happened between this. Like, it's this type of stuff that makes me really want to really do that Captain America show. It's something I'm really excited to show, because especially as you're binging the universe and you see the progression, the rise and fall of some characters, and that sort of thing.
Action scene on a plane.
This fucking dumbass gets killed. Wait, what were you saying?
That was just like action scene on a plane. That was fun to film.
Yeah. God, and I just watched I watched that terrible Brad Pitt zombie movie, and they have the dumbest fucking plane crash scene I've ever seen.
Yeah, now we're back in the quantum realm.
Yeah. I love how you designed it. Like, fun. So we were hoping Enzo could have turned that blue void into something else.
Yeah, like the background wasn't just a blue screen, but it's whatever, I kind of forgot that, like, if you're gonna do a blue or green screen, you can't have blue or green stuff on the set.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yo, Quasar. Kind of similar to Hellcat, but instead of Brick Nexus, it was actually Sean who introduced me to the character, and then I was like, I want to do something with him, but Sean pitched the character to be in something else, and I wasn't really too confident with them being in that project. The project got canceled, for other reasons.
Also, Janet just escaped the hospital. Like, there's probably like a manhunt, like looking for her now.
Yeah. Do they even know it's, like, as far as I know, it's just random unconscious woman?
Yeah. Well, it's like the Shield agents just chucked her in a random hospital, the nearest one.
I like Quasar, and then I was like, let's put him in here. He'll be like the representative of the quantum realm. But the thing is, though, that's like, Quasar is not from the quantum realm in the comics. Like, and that was kind of like, that reminds me of like this running joke that me and SBS did while we were writing. Was we had this bit where anytime we did something inaccurate to the comics, we just do like a little fucking nerd voice. It's like, that's not in the comics.
Actually,
Don't you know that Quasar? So you know that Quasar is actually this cosmic space hero who like saves the day in space and has like a talking tree or something? This is not accurate to the or some shit like that. And like,
it's just funny
because I kind of
because
made a good point of what me and SBS thought about, like a comic, like anything adapting a comic, it does not have to be 100% faithful to the source material. as long as you're faithful to the characters, I'd say, and as long as you're really telling a good story.
Yeah.
Because like the Guardians of the Galaxy films, I would not really say they're accurate to the comics, but they are so good. They're such great movies.
Mm-hmm.
They
Another scene in the car.
they really work. Yes, in the car, but like they're not comic accurate, but they are such good comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of similar with Ant-Man. I wouldn't really say we're like faithful to the source material in the way that we're not directly adapting things, but we are faithful to the characters and we are telling these interesting stories.
Yeah.
Also, it might just, I don't know if it's me, but Mockingbird is giving Yelena vibes.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I think my opinion is when people say, "Oh, I want accurate comic adaptations." If you want something accurate to the comic, go read the comic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's, yeah, a lot of like book to film adaptations or stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes it gets lost in translation and the book is infinitely better and you're like, why didn't they just adapt the book better? But at least they didn't. You can at least say they're two separate things, and they're separate from each other. They're not just straight up the same product. So that's kind of how I approach writing basically anything. Is I want it to still feel like it belongs, but also not just be a straight up adaptation of something. Because that's no fun.
Yeah. You got to give put your voice in it, really.
Mm-hmm.
So something I do want to talk about is I originally was not going to come back for this one in terms of voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I really did not at the time. I just did not enjoy my performance as Hank in the first one. And so for the longest time, I'm like, okay, we got to find someone else for Hank. We got to find someone else for Hank. And I kid you not, during the last read through of the script, because anytime we read through the script, I always just told SBS to read for Hank during that.
Mm-hmm.
But during the last one, I was like, okay, fine, I'll read for Hank. And then by the time that we were done reading the script and we got through all our notes and stuff, I was like, fuck, I want to voice this character.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I remember, wasn't there like the actress who played Hope didn't do one line, or like you had to alter one of the lines?
Yeah, I had to edit around it because by the time we had gotten to editing, it already took. I don't like to criticize people for taking a long time to get stuff because I do that a lot too, and like we all live our lives. We all have a lot of us. I'm assuming this isn't our main job. This is a hobby. So it makes sense that this doesn't take up all our time. But like I think it took at least a month to get the Hope actress's lines. I think I don't remember. So if she's watching this video, I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact timeline. But like I just didn't want to get her to do it again for one line and have to wait however much more time, especially since at this point I had everything. By the time I was editing the scene, I'd had everything and I just needed to finish editing. So I just took the bit where she said ass in the first line where she said ass, and I just put that there. And it works good enough. You get the point.
Yeah. But I love the death scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you actually broke his helmet for that. Oh,
Yeah.
Ultron's arm.
Ultron's arm. I actually ripped up that helmet for that, even though you can barely see it, but I think you can kind of see it enough towards you get
with
the
his
point.
eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You might need to censor this one part in later on, but Oh, something I want to discuss. Was it Hellcat or the actress who played Mockingbird in this, who was actually an extra in the MCU?
Oof. I don't know. It was the lady who did like all the extra voices, like the
Oh, yeah. Okay.
um Bishop and the agent lady. Like she was actually I'm pretty sure it was her. I'll have to double check. But she was like actually like an extra, like a background dancer. I think in
It was a
Far
Spider-Man Far
From
From Home.
Home? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Far From Home.
Yeah. So, guys, we legit have an MCU
MCU
actor.
alumni in Atlas. Suck on that,
Yeah,
everyone else.
yeah. She has like 5 lines. Hooray! And like, I mean, yeah, it's an extra who was in the movie for like 5 seconds or something.
Probably.
I don't. But it's still cool though.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
still.
oh, we can.
We actually hired someone with an actual IMDb page
Yeah.
for free. We didn't pay her because she didn't ask,
Yeah.
and it was for
Mhm.
promotion. Because I think I've only ever paid a few people for stuff
Mhm.
just because I'm
Yeah.
broke.
Yo, same. I love this scene. I love how I feel like it's good setup for a potential shoot, like what I want to do in a
Mhm.
Shield show. So again, like not only with the context of Peggy in this film alone, but also just what will come after, or at least technically before, with Captain America. This scene will just be even more like crazier or more emotional.
Yeah.
And I like how you filmed it too. I like how, like right here, like the
Yeah,
white
just
void.
boing. Boing? What
Yeah.
the fuck did I say? Boing.
What? Void.
Yeah, sure.
I said void. Like the MCU character.
Yeah, except it's white instead of black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're
We're whitewashing
anyways,
the void in
Hank,
the
Hank,
Atlas universe.
yeah. Well, hey, we're gonna see the void in Golden Flyer's upcoming film.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and this is the scene where Hank is going to divorce his wife.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, it doesn't officially until the Christmas special, but you know, it's whatever.
Yeah. I wonder, like, what is the gap between this and the Christmas special? Like, what
Well, if
month is
this is Hope starting school, I'm pretty sure California starts school in like August sometime. I don't remember. It's either August or September is when people start school. So it'd be a gap of a few months between this and Christmas.
Yeah. Damn, he's been fucking crashing on Bill's couch for like 4 months at
Yeah.
this point. Did we ever talk about potentially having Hank slap Janet? I know we like.
I mean, I think we discussed it as like a let's not do that.
Yeah, we were very like briefly, and then we were like, no, that's stupid. It was stupid in the comics. It's stupid here. And
I think I hate it when in writing when there's like in anything where there's an argument between two people and like they have good points on both sides, but then they make one character do something that just like heinous or so stupid that like it's so obvious that the writer has a preference for one of the characters' arguments. When it'd be better if you just left it to audience interpretation. And that's what we wanted to do here. Where it's like Janet called the military on her husband, but her husband was also just being an illegal superhero, actively endangering himself and his family. So neither of them are really right. But then again, this is also a comic book movie, so you know it's just there's a bit of suspension of disbelief. And also, this ending scene with this song was the first story anything that we really came up for this. So
Yeah.
essentially, we wrote the whole thing backwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't literally write it backwards, but we were, because I remember distinctly, like, one of the first times we like talked about the project
Mm-hmm.
was like you listened to this song around that time and
Yeah.
it clicked. And this scene, am I allowed to say it somewhat sets up something in Ant-Man 3?
Yeah, I mean, it will at some point.
Yeah. But like, should we say that? Should we say, oh, Kate Bishop's gonna be in that?
I mean, you just did, and it's not really
Well,
a
I mean,
secret because, we put her mother in this buying the bow. And that was always kind of the plan for the third one, is to have her in it. So yeah,
yeah.
Kate Bishop, Ant-Man 3, hooray! Woo.
Yeah. Um, but like, oh, okay. So real quick, can you pause it real quick? I have been wanting to show this character in Atlas for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I have been waiting to show this character for a real good hot minute. And now, we finally got our chance.
Yeah. There he is. This
Yes.
guy.
Yes. Brandon did such a good job voicing him. He's
Mm-hmm.
barely in it, but he did such a good job. I'm excited for him to return at some point, whenever that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And damn, this is like this like in both Ant-Man films.
And with a gunshot going off, and then it cuts to
Yeah.
black. Oh no, we don't
Mm-hmm.
want to. Oh no, we don't want to watch the first one. We already did a commentary on that. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that was that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What? Oh, that just happened.
well,
Um, I definitely have a preference for the second one over the first. I love both films, but I like part two is really more the kinds of story to tell,
mhm,
really character driven with this insane ensemble,
yeah,
and it's just a lot of fun. And I love how it does like have a conclusion,
mhm,
but it's not complete. Like it's something that we'll get back to in Ant-Man 3 at some point.
yeah,
Um but like also something I remember, like even when you were initially filming, especially that the beginning with like Peggy getting in the car with Mockingbird,
mhm.
the scene gave off James Bond vibes. And I remember like anything with Shield you gave James Bond
Yeah, I
vibes
kind of
to.
tried to give, spy type vibes, especially with like Peggy's car when it's like like transforming and having the big windshield come down, turning it from a
Hmm.
convertible to a normal sedan, not a car.
Yeah. And like the fact that you'd go on to make your own James Bond video
Yeah,
down the road.
which I didn't know that yet, but things happen.
Yeah. Like it was just at the moment it was a homage, but now like looking back at your filmography, you can just say that that was like that was your Easter egg. That was your you were secretly
Yeah.
foreshadowing that you were going to do
Hmm.
this.
Be like J.K. Rowling and like pretend that I knew what I was doing from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, fuck her and do not
So,
support her shit. Um yeah. No, don't tolerate any form of hate.
nope.
Anywho, but like, there's so many fun Easter eggs in this. So many fun, like, it really not only improves upon the story of the first one, but really like makes it its own. I think like it really like Legacy of Ultron wasn't just like a one-off thing. It's like no, that was the beginning of something, and this really like sets up that Hank and Janet go through a lot more than we think,
Hmm.
and you know we're going to see them go through some stuff in Ant-Man 3 because Ant-Man 3, I will give this away. Ant-Man 3 will take place at the end of 1999. That is, so it will be the longest gap between the films,
Hmm.
be 13 years or so. Hope will be in college. Um, and I'm probably still gonna voice Hank.
Hmm.
Yeah, I am. But yeah, I'm really Ant-Man 3 is gonna be fun. It might be a two-parter. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, it really just depends
Um,
on how that folds out.
yeah. Um, Thank you everyone who was involved in this project, whether it was you know, Enzo, who helped with the VFX for the Quantum Realm stuff, all the voice actors who contributed, especially me, naturally,
Hmm.
um, and of course, um, you, Liam.
Yeah.
We would not have Ant-Man or Ant-Man 2 without you. Um, so thank you. This might be one of my personal favorite Atlas videos. I don't know if it's like definitively my favorite, and that's kind of weird to say. But like I don't know. There's like I like bounce back between like three of them, between three videos. And this is one of them. Like I'm always like back and forth. Is this my favorite video in the universe? And like juggling between two other ones. Right now I'm gonna say it is my favorite.
Hmm.
Um because it's Ant-Man 2. It's really fucking good. And yeah, that's all I really have to say, I think, for now.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything funny or witty to say, so I guess we'll
Mhm.
just end it here.